Okay, this one may be long, but it is definitely to your advantage to watch the whole thing all the way through or use it to check to make sure that your answers are correct. To make sure that all your answers are correct. So I am going to try to do this as best I can and as quickly as I can, but making sure I get all the information to you that you need. So scale factor MDA study guide. Look at the image to the left. A scale factor of 1 to 5 is applied to this figure. So what are the new lengths of the lines? So this means that this is my small one. It's my 1. And the other one is my, the 5 is going to make it the bigger one. You can do it either way. So this is currently size 3, sides 2, sides 3, and sides 2. You can definitely use the strategy of cross multiplication. So if I choose to do 3 first, and I'm going to scale it using 1 to 5, that 3 is my smaller, so it's going to go on top with the small. Then my unknown goes on the bottom because we don't know how big it is once we, enlarge it. So I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times x is x. 3 times 5 is 15. So when this is enlarged, line AB is 15. I can also probably see that CD is also 3, saving a little time, and come down here and make sure that I put CD as 15 as well. Okay, so now we have to figure out this one. It still has the same scale factor, so I'm going to put 1 over 5. I'm going to remember that 2 is my original, it's the little one, and the 5 is the bigger one, the unknown. I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times x is 1x. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, so since we found out that this one is 2, and 2 turns into 10, we have then found out the answers to all of these. Again, please make sure that you are paying attention to which line it is, and that is created by the letters there. All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. The scale drawing of a rectangular porch has the dimensions of 1 inch by 4 inches. So there's the drawing. I might have to make this bigger so I can see it. Okay. The length of the longer side of the porch is actually 20 feet. Okay. The area of the real porch is blank. Okay. So it's asking for the area. So I need to figure out what this is. And so I'm going to set up my 2 scales. 1 over 4, which is 1 over 4. So 1 goes with x, and 20 goes with 4. Hopefully this is making sense to you. I'm going to cross multiply. 4 times x is 4x. 1 times 20 is 20. Now I need to move this 4 over by dividing by 4. That's a division. So x then equals 5, and it's 5 feet. Okay, so now let's go back and read the question. The question asks for the area, okay? So do you remember how to find the area of a rectangle? So let's figure out what the area of a rectangle is. Area equals length times width. We know this is 5 and this is 20. So area equals the 5 times the 20. Use your little calculator if you need to. I don't need to, but I'm going to just so you see we're using the calculator. 5 times 20, I bet it's 100. Oh, so smart. The answer is, 100. Okay, so you'll come down and write Okay, come on. The area of the real porch is 100 feet. And it's two-dimensional. Yep, 2 feet. So it's feet squared. Okay? Good job. We've done that one. All right. Now this one will be a drag and drop type of thing when you are seeing it on Performance Matters, but we had to deal with what we have to deal with on this. But it's practice from what you should expect. So this is a scale model of a home in inches. The scale is 1 inch to 8 feet. So 1 to 8, okay? So 1 inch equals 8 feet. Use the bank of numbers to complete the chart by filling in the correct measurements with the features of the house. All right. So there's 2 ways to do this, and I'm going to show you both ways because 1 is 8. That means that my scale is, I'm just going to multiply it by 8. Let's choose the width of the door, which is right here, so 0.5. So my original is the 0.5, and then the unknown is the x, okay? 1 times x is x. 0.5 times 8, again, I know the answer, but I'm going to use a calculator just to make sure I don't make one of my, erroneous errors. I'm going to do 8 times 0.5. See that little bitty tiny point? 0.5. I believe the answer is 4. So x equals 4. So the width of the door is 4, and it is feet. Is that, ignore my typo. These should be feet. And they will be before I print them. Okay, all of those are feet, not inches. Whoops. Okay, so that one is used. But my theory is that I can just take this number and multiply it by the 8, and I get my answer. So did that work? 8 times 0.5? Yeah, I got 4. So we're going to try that on the other ones to see if that works. Okay, so since I tried on that one, let's find the height of the door. Well, the height of the door is 1.25. So my theory is that I can take that 1.25 and multiply it by 8. And that is one way to get my answer. Let's see if that works. And they both agree. So clear. 1.25 times 8 equals 10. So 10 feet is an option. But I want to verify it with the cross multiplication. So my cross multiplication is I use my original scale factor, 1 over 8 equals, and my little number was 1.25. My unknown real number is 8. 1 times 8x is x. 8 times 1.25 we just did is 10. So that way works, and it shows why that way works. So both ways will work. All right, let's choose another color. Do the next one. Width of the window. The window is 0.6. So again, I think I can do 0.6 times 8. Use my calculator, but I don't need to. It's 4.8. But if I were doing it with my 1 over 8 equals, my little one is 0.6 over unknown, cross multiply, 1 times x is x, 6.6 times 8 is 4.8. Do I have that as an option down here? Yes. So both ways work. In case you missed it, both ways work. It depends on which one you see. Both ways work. All right, I cleared that. I was getting a headache with all the various colors. So I'm erasing and going to start with green, I suppose. And now it asks, oh, I lost all of the answers. Let's see if I can go back. So sorry. I guess I have to do the old-fashioned erasing so that it doesn't give me the headache that it was giving me. Oh, well. Sorry, a little extra time watching me erase. Okay, there we go. We can still go with green. Maybe. All right, so it wants to know the height of the window, which is 0.8. I should be able to go 0.8 times 8, which is 6.4. Will it work if I do it the other way? 1 over 8 equals my original little bitty drawing is 0.8 over unknown. 1 times x, cross multiply is x. And then it's 8 times 0.8, which is 6.4. So the answer to this one is 6.4 feet. All right, so we have done that. We have showed that both ways does work. Please make sure that you have that on your paper and that you understand, because you will be seeing something similar to this with decimals. Yeah, so just do your best ability. We're going to keep moving. There are 5 questions total, so we're almost done. All right, Devontae drew the 2 triangles shown. The second is a scale drawing of the first. What scale factor did Devontae use to draw the second rectangle? Use numbers and symbols only in your answer. Well, hey guys, this is very similar to our unit rate or to our proportions. We are going to put this over this, and this, well, it should have changed colors, over this to see if they turn out the same. So if I do 5 divided by 17.5, I guess I should have stayed with the same color. Okay, so if I take my green and I divide those two like it should. So if I do the 5 divided by 17.5, what I get for that should equal the same as my 3 over my 13.125. Now, reality is my big number should be on top, shouldn't it? Let's get a different green. My big number should be on top because I'm going to divide. I want a whole number. So ignore this. And then grab your calculator. Wait for the calculator to show up. There it goes. 17.5 divided by 5 equals 3.5. Let's check and see if that equals the other one. I'm going to hit clear. 13.125 divided by 3.75. Whoa, hold on. 13.125 divided by 3.75. 3.5. Okay, and since they're the same, guess what our scale factor is? It's 3.5. It wants it used as numbers and symbols only, so that means it wants to say 1 is your little one. Little one, see the first rectangle stands for 1. And the second rectangle is 3.5. Remember that computer wants it written like that. You want the 1, the colon, and then whatever the scale factor is. That's why it's telling you that. We have seen it 3 different ways. So just kind of make sure that you have answered it how the computer wants you to answer it. We are going to move on to the last problem. All right, let's see how this goes. And yes, you will be drawing on performance matters. A scale drawing of a pool is drawn in the centimeter grid paper as shown. The scale unit is 1 unit equals 10 feet. So this is 3 units, this is 2 units, this is 3 units, this is 2 units. The area of the actual pool is blank. So I'm not going to do 3 times, remember area is length times width. We've already talked about this. But I'm not going to do 3 times 2 because my pool is not 6 feet. That's tiny. I have to apply this. So I need to do 3 times 10. So that 3 is really 30. This 2 is really 20. Okay, so my area equals 30 times 20. Now, sometimes I mess up my zeros, so I'm going to get my calculator just to make sure. 30 times 20, I think it's 600. Yes, I was right. Okay, so my area equals 600, and it's feet squared. So I will have to put 600 feet squared. Okay. Now the second part is where you get to draw, but the part that I find a little interesting is the fact that this one is, you change color, 1 to 10. So my 3 units stands for 30. Okay. They want it to be 1 unit equals 5. So that changes things. Okay. So I need to take this 30 and plug it in where I can. 1 over 5 equals, now that 30 is my big number, remember? So I'm going to put that there. And I don't know. This one's a little complicated. So it's whether or not you understand it. So I get 5x equals 1 times 30. Got to move the 5 over with divided by 5. X equals 6. Now what I'm noticing is this jumped from 3 to 6. Does that make sense? If I went from 10 to 5, does that make sense? In my brain, it does make sense because it's taking up a little less space. So I can also logically think if 3 got doubled, 3 to 6, then 2 is going to get doubled to 4. So your drawing down here, and I know that I have a lot of work here, your drawing down here will be that you need to change it from 3 by 2 to 6 by 4. And that's a lot. I know that that's a lot. I will tell you that you need to think about that same thing when you go to take that test. It was 3. So 3 turns into 6, and 4, or that 2 turns into 4. So this becomes 6 and 4. So that is the preparation for the test. I know that this last one is probably the one that some of you are going to be like, oh, that makes sense. And some of you are going to be like, I hope that we're good. Just do the best that you can and understand that I'm here to help to a certain extent as best I can. I can't give you, but I can help you. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Send me an email, something like that. I will do my best.